you guys on this last day. Thank you for coming back. And I am actually going to introduce the next person, who is incredibly talented, incredibly beautiful, incredibly sexy, and sometimes my lover, the amazing Zoe Palmer.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see you all. I have the privilege and the honor to introduce, I'd say, TV's sexiest wolf in the world. He's big, he's brave, he's bold, he's madly, hopelessly, deeply in love with Bo. He's Dyson, he's Chris Holden-Reid.
You are the survivors. She's made in Norway, raised in Canada. She's the most awesome Valkyrie I've ever met. She scared the bejesus out of me one episode. And she didn't even require CGI to do it. She's one of the most charming people I've ever met in my life. The incredible Rachel Skarsten.
Although I never got to work with him really on Lost Girl, I am lucky enough to have him as a partner in crime in life. The ever shitty head, darling poop emoji, Paul, Dracula a moose, Paul Roger Amos. Someone got DragonCon last night, so.
Well, we have someone with a mic out in the audience, and so if you can line up with Leah. Leah, where are you? Oh, okay, thank you, that would be good. Right up, she's on this side, everybody see? So if you would like to ask a question of the cast, please go over there. Now, while you're doing that, I have a question to kind of get things started. Personality traits of your characters, of those myriad traits, which one do you most admire yourself?
In Bo? What do I most admire in Bo?
Yes.
I just loved her vulnerability. I love that she was really vulnerable. But I had to be strong and fearless despite that. So that's what I gravitated to the very first time I read the script. She was kick-ass, yes, but it came from a place of truth, and I loved that.
I think for me, Lauren was such a strong female character, but I think what I liked so much about her is her ability to kind of accept and let go of things that she needed to let go of. In everything from her being independent, she was subservient to the Fae. She had to let go of the idea of what her concept of a relationship with Bo would be like, because it wasn't possible to have that kind of a relationship with Bo. And just the ability to let go in life, I think, is such a struggle for all of us, and certainly is for me. So it was something I admired about her. Hopefully she could pass some of that on for me.
I think I don't know if it's really a trait, but one of the things I found really interesting and a challenge to play Dyson was the fact that he's like 1,000 years old, and has seen all these different time periods and how that would affect him. How do you play that? What kind of...
I'm not going crazy, am I? I
thought that was Paul doing some weird classically trained thing over there.
It's like, what did I drink last night?
No, it's all good. Yeah, no, we're all in the same boat.
Paul only speaks in robot now.
But yeah, that was a real challenge. But as far as the traits go, I mean, Dyson was incredibly loyal, It was just like, and the interesting challenge going through the different seasons was how to keep a love relationship alive with Bo, who was a character that needed more love than Dyson could give her. And I think that was the real journey of learning for Dyson, of how to let go and accept other beautiful people into the love sphere. I had to throw some cosmic emo in at the end there.
I know. I admired Tamsin's imperfections, but despite those imperfections, her desire to love and be loved. I think throughout, sort of like Dyson's character, Chris's character, she lived many lives. I think she'd been disappointed a lot, and I think we can all relate to that need to be known by other people. And I just admire that right through, up until the end, she was searching for that, and really, really genuinely searching for the real thing.
It's hard for me to make sense most of the time in my best state. Don't hold out too much hope with this answer. No, I would say, Vex, he's a survivor, isn't he, really? And I admire his ability to survive in different situations. I think he uses his humor to do that. He uses his powers to do that. Yeah, I would say his sense of survival.
Well done.
Yes.
Did that make sense?
Yes. Yay. Okay, Leah, let's go with our first question, please.
Hi, this question is for everyone, especially Paul, so pay attention. He's totally not paying attention. Whatever. This question's for everyone. Paul, why are you not paying attention? That's what you get for being classically trained. Anyway, so we've talked a lot about the show and what you guys are doing in the future and everything like that, but what do you do in your free time?
Where am I looking?
Right there.
Oh, yeah, we just were there.
I actually didn't know what that was. That's a line for questions.
I was like, sit down.
You can sit.
I think you have to ask your question again. It was hard to understand.
Well, I'm just curious as to what you guys do in your free time.
I cook a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cook a lot.
And Instagram about it.
But really well. I mean, if you ever get to have a meal at Chez Paul, you will not be let down. Michelin stars, I mean, like, honestly.
And going back to things that people don't know about me, that I keep all of my meat in Chris's house.
It gets a little smelly down there.
That's code for something.
No, it's not, thank God. Rumors don't start
I
here.
keep all of my meat in Chris's house.
I remember Chris telling me that Paul had come to his house to get some meat, and he accidentally left some meat out.
That fine story.
Yes, and then he came
I have
home.
a big deep
Yeah, you tell
freeze.
me.
Yeah, I have a deep freeze in my basement that I don't use. So Paul, who's he's big into the locally raised meats and stuff like that. So he gets a cow and a pig slaughtered and yada yada, and he needs a place to store it. That's my freezer. But sometimes he's ripping through and he's trying to find just the right piece of meat. And one time he happened to forget a piece on the shelf above my freezer.
It was a kidney, actually.
It was a kidney perhaps. So I don't go into my basement often. And on a Monday I came home from work and I was like, what's an interesting smell in my house? I must have left the garbage under the sink, whatever. Didn't really think much of it. Tuesday I got back from shooting again 10 o'clock at night, really tired. How smells even funny? I'm starting to sniff around now, but the wolf sense has really kicked in. I'm tired. I'm smelling my shoes. I'm wondering if I stepped in poo. There's a fly in my kitchen. Where did that come from? I don't know. Go to sleep. Wednesday night I come home. There's a definite dead body smell. And I'm wondering what the hell is going on. And I open the door to my kitchen, and there's a swarm of flies. And I'm like going, oh, what is this? And so I finally open the door to my basement, and out comes a black cloud of flies. And it was like literally a scene from a horror movie where I had to fight my way down, past the clouds of fuming flies and maggots, and yeah. It was awesome. So thanks, Paul, for those amazing experiences. Almost made me become a vegan right there.
And what about other people?
Oh,
in your spare
what?
time?
Was there a
What do you like to
question?
do in your spare time?
My spare time, right?
Yeah, what do you do in your spare time?
I don't know, lots of stuff, as much as I can. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I'm either like riding my motorbike or snowboarding or taking care of my 7-year-old boy, which is an adrenaline ride all on its own. Yeah, I don't know, as much as I can, honestly. And I try to read a book or two.
That's difficult.
When I get a chunk of time off, I like to travel. That's sort of my thing. I have 99 countries I want to see. I'm at like 37. And then otherwise, when we're off from work, I just really love going. I find a coffee shop that's sort of like my place, and I love going to a coffee shop and reading or people watching. It's not terribly exciting, but I love it. Are you doodling?
We're coming into fall.
This was my answer. Listen.
I made a picture on my, I don't know if you can see it, but that's my dude. We're coming into fall in Toronto anyway, and I love nothing more than like having a big sweater on and having a coffee and walking through the woods with dogs. Like just anyone's dogs.
Wild dogs.
So I find a dog and I walk it. Yeah. And that's what I do when I'm not acting or talking all yell.
She ignores the screaming cries of the children looking for the dog.
As I pry their dog from them. Yeah.
You walk dogs and elderly people.
Yeah, just random beings I take for walks. Anyway, I charge, and if any of you want to go on a walk with me.
And I don't know, I mother, I read, I try to cook. My husband's way better. What's that?
I agree. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I didn't know it would be met with such protest. I try to cook. My husband's a better cook. Everything I cook tastes the same. I don't know why. It just tastes the same.
Really?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Everything he cooks tastes the same?
No, everything I cook tastes
Your
the same.
muffins are really good, though.
Yeah, I make good muffins. Pumpkin.
That feels a little bit like Paul's meat in Chris's house.
Rachel has eaten my muffins.
I haven't tried Anna's muffins since season 1. I can't even remember.
I know. Everyone's had a bit of Anna's muffins, let's be honest.
Next question.
I don't even remember mine now. Hi guys, thanks for coming. We love you, and this has been great, DragonCon. Obviously, we all fangirl and fanboy over you guys, sometimes embarrassingly so. Who do you guys fangirl and fanboy over? Anybody?
Oh, Adam West from the original Batman. I met him at a well, I didn't really meet him. I was in the green room and I saw him, and my agent Holly was like, "Oh, that's Adam West." And I watched that show when I was a little girl, and I was so obsessed with Batman and used to like have Batman pajamas and go pow boom. And I was so nervous that I couldn't say hi to him. I was like freaking out. And then finally I got the courage as he was leaving to like go say hi. And I blacked out. Like I don't even remember what I said to him.
Like you fainted?
No, but you know when you have a conversation with someone and then you leave and you're like,
You don't know what happened.
I literally don't know what happened,
Right.
yeah. And so that was a meaningful time. And then he winked at me as he left the room, and I was like, oh my gosh. So Adam West is mine.
I guess, yeah. I mean, at these conventions, we get to meet some pretty cool people. Mine was Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, something you didn't know. I'm a bit of a Trekkie.
Which one are you?
just
Which
brilliant.
series?
He's brilliant.
Such a good actor.
Next Generation, for sure.
Me too. And Voyager.
Never did the Voyager.
It's good. Janeway. She's badass.
But yeah, you know, like Patrick, like you said, just such a stand-up guy, like such a gentleman and an artist and a craftsman, and
he's very
And
fit
also-
as well. He's very fit.
yeah.
Yeah, very healthy. But I met him one time at one con some million years ago, and then the next con, he said, "Hi, Zoe." That man meets, just as a, like, he meets millions of people all the time. I met him one time and he said, "Hi, Zoe." And what that says is that I'm amazing. You know what I mean? No. That's not at all where that was going. He's a lovely human being, and I'm also, but amazing.
I don't know. I don't really, I'm not impressed by anybody.
I'm right here.
No, I'm kidding.
You're real impressed by everybody.
No,
We're impressed by Sienna Miller's style. We used to Google that.
Oh yeah, we would Google image people for style. So yeah, Sienna Miller.
And then we tried to get your husband to take photos of us to see if we looked cool in outfits.
And my husband would Google image Gerard Butler. Anyway,
I think if we ever saw her in real life, we might fangirl out on her
we
outfits.
might. And I think Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, yes! How did we even forget that?
No, there's a girl out there who mentioned it. I don't know. I'm in California a lot, so I actually do see a lot of celebrities, and I think the person that I got the most excited about recently was Big from Sex and the City. I saw him a couple of times, and I was Chris knows. No, he's big. He's just big.
Oh, you just called him.
I was excited about that. I'm sorry I don't have a better answer, Cindy. Okay.
Now, Paul.
Your turn. I'm terrified.
I don't need a microphone.
What?
Answer.
Oh, do I have to speak into this? Who was I starstruck by? Well, I told you the U2 story last night.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
epic.
Bono, I guess. Yeah, for me. But I wasn't starstruck because I asked him if I could sing on stage with him. And he said I could. So I did. Was he good? Was I good?
I know he's good.
No, I wasn't very good at all. Because I didn't make the final cut. Because it's a long story.
It's
I
long.
can't, I'd love to tell you all one time, but it will be here all day. And I haven't got the energy. I love Bono.
Thank
The answer
you.
to the story. You sound increasingly more Welsh.
Hi, thank you again for coming out, and you know already how much this show's meant to so many of us, and we're fortunate to have two classically trained actors on the show, so that was great. My question is, if this cast that you have right here could have been any comedy show that was on TV, what show do you think you guys would most resemble, or which show would you guys like to be?
The Walking Dead.
Wait, if we could be in a comedy collectively as a cast?
Which one would it
Modern
best
Family.
resemble that's been on
We
TV?
are that.
Yeah, Modern Family.
I mean, that was. Oh my God. We were the sci-fi version of Modern
the-
Family.
Yeah.
Friends. Friends. We could do Friends.
The Family Guy. I'm, of course, the dog. Anyone else? Please come.
Hello again. You've expressed how you have really been a family as a cast throughout the making of Lost Girl, and we've been able to see that when we attend conventions. But now that the show is ending, and now that the fans are seeing the end of the show, what do you think is the one thing you'll take away from this beautiful fandom as you go throughout the rest of your careers?
The fandom, how has the fandom
What do we
affected
take
you?
away from the fandom?
From the fandom.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I mean, you guys we take you with us everywhere. You're so incredibly supportive of everything that we do. You get excited about, even if it's not something you're even remotely interested in. It's really, really lovely and overwhelming. I mean, they were all on it before me, so I had no idea what I was getting into in terms of the dedicated loyalty of you guys. And it's humbling and wonderful, so thank you.
Yeah, it's not lost on us. We talk about it a lot. You know, when we're not here, we talk about it and how special this show has been, and your response and your commitment to us individually and as a whole, as a show, has really touched us. It really has. There's nobody on this panel that doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I so appreciate the personal stories I've heard this weekend, because I know how hard it is to tell your story, and I'm so touched that you shared it with me. Oh no. She's gonna cry. And I think one of the things I'll take away also from the fandom is the attention to detail that you guys had for the show. It was really remarkable and just showed how much you cared about the relationships and how closely you paid attention. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's funny because when people ask us at these cons, they're like, "You guys are so lovely. You guys are awesome with the fans. I mean, and I'm like, what is everyone else doing?" But it's like that. It's like that energy has to be matched, because when you come to us, you've given us so much on this show in terms of the dedication and the following, and then when you actually meet us in real life, that we just have to match that energy and that sort of love that you've given us across the 5 years that this show's been on.
Yeah, and it may seem like we're giving to you guys, but really we're also taking from you guys, because you give a lot back.
Yeah, it's being matched.
I mean, for what we do, I've said this before, we make these shows in these little dark rooms all alone with our crew, and we don't really know how it's affecting the people until we come out here, and when we see how much it's touched you guys, that makes everything that we've done, it gives it validity and makes us feel very grateful and gracious for you guys paying attention and digging our stuff. So thank you. And
Was that our questioner again? Was that Annie?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Annie from Drinks with the Doll podcast. So check them out. Yes, and talk about attention to detail. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. This question is for Rachel. The biggest reason I'm here, I totally adore you, and I wasn't disappointed when I met you, but I just wanted
Can you hear it?
I just wanted to know how your role as Tamsin has affected your role as Elizabeth. What have you brought from your role as Tamsin into Elizabeth? Any similar traits?
Well, I would say Tamsin is like a cooler, sassier version of myself. And it's been a little bit hard on Rain, actually. A couple of times they've said to me, you can't roll your eyes like that. You made it be a little more regal or something. So that's been actually quite challenging for me, because it's just a reflex now. I just want to, but apparently Queen Elizabeth didn't do that. So I take pieces of Tamsin with me you guys have started this whole Rach face thing on Twitter, which is, I think, kind of started on Lost. Well, I guess it's kind of been with me my whole life. It's my face, but it sort of grew into this thing on Lost Girl, and I think all of us kind of take a piece of a character, because characters, some are more like you than others are, but each one has specific parts of your personality sort of personified in that character. And I'd like to say, you won't recognize any Tamsin in Queen Elizabeth, but you probably will.
Hi, so happy to see all of you this weekend. I have two unrelated questions. Number one is, what's your favorite food or dish? The second one is, as fans, we're so sad that this is the last season of Lost Girl. So, what's easier to fund or petition, a TV special or a movie?
What's easier to
sign in a petition, a TV special, or movie?
Oh.
Probably either. Yeah. TV special, maybe. And wait, what was the other question?
I like pasta.
Favorite dish?
Oh yeah, potatoes. They're just they're very versatile.
Just like any particular kind, or you really just like them any old way?
Well, no, I like them every way. Baked potatoes, scalloped potatoes, French fries, mashed browns. Mashed is my least favorite.
Really?
But you can make vodka out of potatoes.
Oh.
You can make potato men, you know? That's weird. I take that back. Yeah, gin. So you can basically eat potatoes and get drunk. Yeah, I like potato. What do you like?
Steak.
Paul's trying to get me to eat steak.
Yeah, I don't know. I love shellfish, so whether it's, you know,
Oysters. You love oysters.
I love oysters. But like as a kid, I was like my parents' worst nightmare. We would go out, and I would always be like, "Well, and what would you like, little boy?" I'd be like, "Lobster!" I was like, literally, I know I used to drive people nuts, but yeah, my grandmother was the greatest lobster eater of all time. She would suck the meat out of every little skinny leg. It was a 2-hour process for her, and it really kind of educated me and taught me to respect the shellfish. So, yeah.
Did you know, this is a fun fact about lobsters, that back in the 1800s, they used to lobsters were considered bottom feeding, like no one wanted to eat them, so they'd feed them to prisoners, like on the East Coast, but they weren't allowed to feed it to prisoners more than 3 times a week because it was considered cruel and unusual punishment. And I know this because I was feeling guilty about eating lobsters, so I Googled them.
They're also genetically from the cockroach species.
Yeah, that's why they fed them prisoners.
I'll have to try a cockroach someday.
Oh God, no.
I don't know. I mean, I think for me it's pasta with tomato sauce, glass of red wine, nice piece of fish. That would do it for me.
Next.
Hey there, first 2 comments. 1, Rachel and Chris, thank you for ruining lobster for us.
Your
2,
wallet will thank us.
2, this comment is actually for you, Paul. I really loved the way you, that you played Vex throughout the years. Even though he can be very cocky and funny, every now and then you see